There's this video I watched, and this video, the woman is in jail. They haven't determined if she'll get life or not, but most likely she will because she attempted to murder her child. Um, and the lady said the voice in her head kept telling her to stab her kid, stab her daughter, and so she did. It was so devastating watching this video because I can't even think of like just hearing the daughter cry. Like one time, like she ran out of the bathroom away from her mom when her mom had the knife, and she was just thinking like, "What are you doing? Like, how can you imagine? Like, could you imagine being that child and your daughter and your mother has a knife and you're in the bathroom with her and she attempted to stab you, but that child ran out of the bathroom." And then this one moment when they was both sitting in the living room together, the child just sounded so innocent. Like she sounded so confused. Like she didn't even sound confused. Like she still loved her mom. She still sat there with her child. She sat there with her mom as if her mom did nothing to her. But eventually her mom tried again. And this time she succeeded. She stabbed her kid. She stabbed her daughter multiple times. But you can tell like she was kind of resistant with the voice that told her to stab her kid because obviously the wounds wasn't deep enough and something was holding her back from stabbing her completely because, stabbing a kid is just like, you know how far to go to, kill this child. And she didn't go far at all. It was just cuts, but she didn't stab her. Would you think she would have been better off stabbing her kid because, this is what that kid is going to know and remember of you every time she look at those wounds or every time somebody see her wounds. Those cut wounds that you attempted to hurt her. Of course, this child is going to have that to remember about her mother. But as many times as the people told her, like the caseworker was asking her of children's services most likely, or the reporter was asking her what happened to her back, the scrapes on her back, she said she didn't want to answer. She said that her mom had fangs at one point. At one point she said her mom was a cat. But she didn't want to say the specific words, my mom stabbed me or my mom cut me. She didn't want to say that. And they tried to get it out of her. They tried to get her to confess that her mother stabbed her, her mother cut her, and she didn't speak about it. She didn't want to, because sometimes that's what people want us to do, to hold that in our subconscious so that when we get older, we have something to hold against our own mother. She was a smart child. You can tell that she cared about her mother. Obviously more than her mother cared about her. Because she didn't want to confess that. She didn't want to talk about it. Anytime someone tried to talk about it, she held her tongue and she basically just, she was in denial. Maybe she was in denial because of the fact that she said her mom had fangs and her mom was a cat. Maybe she's seeing something that we didn't see. Maybe she could see something that we couldn't see, that it wasn't her mother that was attacking her, but it was that cat. Or a vampire, most likely. The brother said bloodlust. He was concerned that his mother was lustful of blood. He said that it wouldn't be long before that lustfulness took over her. So that's what I'm saying. Kids can see more than we can see. They're more pure than we are. We had so much experience on this earth, and they had so little experience that they are still in the middle of the conscious state and the unconscious state, and they're very tapped into it because they still are whole, while we are traumatized, broken down by our experiences. I was just sitting here and I was thinking about how we are so traumatized by our past, and these experiences have affected us, who we are, to the point where it goes deep. All of our experiences, our family members, our ancestors, it goes deep to the point where we are doing things out of vengeance and we don't know why. Sometimes, and even if we don't know why, we have the wisdom to know it has to be done regardless of our feelings or regardless of where we at in life. We start to see, and we're starting to wake up and really tap into who we are from the roots, and those roots is a huge reason why we are here today. Do you believe that we are on a mission? Is our life and our experience more than we are making of it? So, um, it's like being entangled in a situation, being entangled in a problem that has become your problem because you are a part of that experience, whether you want to be or not. So now it's like entangling yourself in so many experiences, like not entangling yourself, but you have become a part of that entanglement. So I feel like earlier on, our ancestors were treated a certain way, and our ancestors didn't get the life that they wanted. So eventually, that's the thing. People are very smart. They plan and they make, you know, they're very smart to where they can they know that what they've done is wrong. So when you know what you do is wrong, you have to hurry up and fix the mistake so that, if it goes on longer than it should, then they won't be affected. But that's where karma comes in. Karma comes in a form of in a form of that's unknown to us, mysteriously. We have no idea how karma will come back on us, but we tend to try to take control of the situation so that it doesn't affect us in the long run how it should affect us. So when a lot of these videos and a lot of these people are talking about how people your enemies are basically can be your family. And this is because our family members have become our enemies. And I'm not talking about blood. I'm more so talking about the ones that, kind of sort of squeeze themselves into the equation. They squeeze themselves into the equation for protection, pretending that it's more than that. They kind of tricked us and manipulated us and manipulated their way into the situation. So, in the long run, when you finally wake up to the realization that your enemies are right there in front of you, you can't really attack them because now they've created offsprings with you. They've gotten into your circle to where, now it's hard for you to attack me because attacking me you would have to do something to someone close to you, someone actually in your bloodline to get to me because I have become now a part of those branches of your tree. That's how mischievous people are. It's not easy to get to them because they have planned their way. They had a plan all the time, the whole time. They were 3 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead, because you were innocent and you weren't really thinking about it too much, or you weren't thinking about, like, a lot of people move on, but the people who have done wrong are the ones that's haunted by the situation for the rest of their lives. They're feeling that guilt. They're feeling that shame. And they are the ones that's holding their tongue until the end. Because they know if they speak up too soon, what they've done won't be easily forgiven. So they have to take action. They have to do what they have to do to prevent the situation from happening. And this was them preventing the situation, preventing the worst to come. So I kind of feel like that's how this video was, This mother felt like she had to attack her child. But who says, why? She didn't know why. But it probably was most likely because something in her blood wasn't right. There was an enemy that got in too close, that is close to the situation to the point where her child is the one in the way. And for there to be a correction, there has to be a sacrifice.